Hey all, today I'm going to show you how to set up your own nonprofit. It'll be a lot less time consuming than the IRS stuff they want you to watch, and this is what I've been doing alongside my schooling for the last 2 months. So I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it. So when you first Google how to start a nonprofit, which is exactly what I did when I was looking to start one, you'll get a couple websites like these. Now these websites aren't scams, but I also wouldn't recommend them either. Companies like this may make it easier, but it will be undoubtedly more expensive, all the way up to $359 on top of your state filing fees. So I didn't use them and you shouldn't either, so I'm gonna show you how to do it. Since I started my nonprofit in Ohio, I searched up how to start a nonprofit specifically in Ohio, and if you scroll down, we have this really helpful PDF directly from the Secretary of State that'll give an outline on exactly what you need to do. And depending on the state, it may be different, but as far as I'm aware, most states have something like this. If I go back to my home state of Illinois, it seems the Secretary of State has something very similar right here. So this PDF is only 24 pages. I highly recommend you read through all of it. It's really useful information, and it's of course very easy to read. Big fonts, doesn't take that long. Now the first real step after reading your state's PDF is to actually go to your Secretary of State website, and after you log in, there should be an option where you can file a new business or register a name, and the PDF will go over exactly where this all is for your specific state. But the process is going to be very similar. You can pick what your business is going to be. So we got nonprofit corporation, and you can choose how fast the processing time is going to be. Now you can put in the name of your corporation, search it. If there's no other matching results, you can begin filing under that name. And most of the filing should be very simple. So I'll just run through the type of stuff that they ask here. So you need the name of the corporation, the city, what's a city in Ohio? Toledo. County, crap, I don't know what county Toledo's in. Okay, apparently it's in Lucas. Then here the effective date, so you can choose any day as early as the day you are filing this. And then just write a little bit about your purpose. Now for the appointment of an agent, this can be you or someone that you trust, like a treasurer, for example. And then in Ohio, the last 3 things you have to do is to add attachments, which you won't have any attachments if you're just starting out. And then you'll authorize and review all of these documents, which is just you clicking through some stuff. And then within around 3 to 7 business days, you will become a domestic nonprofit corporation within your state. Now, once your nonprofit is approved, all you have to type in is get an EIN and scroll down until you find the IRS get an employer identification number page. Scroll down and you can simply click apply for an EIN. Now of course, since I'm recording this on a Saturday, the system is unavailable since it's only open Monday to Friday 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. But the questions they ask you here are very similar to the questions they ask you when filing a nonprofit in the state. The only difference for an EIN is that you will need your entity number right here, and you will also need your effective date, and this will be found on a PDF most likely sent to your email. Now after filling out all the stuff for the EIN, you will get that number instantly. But now it's time to get to the most complicated part of this, 501c3 status. So just search up how to get a 501c3, and then you can scroll down till you find how to apply for 501c3 status by the IRS. It'll bring you to this page stating that you must either use Form 1023 or Form 1023 Easy. You can go to this eligibility worksheet and scroll through this worksheet. I believe there are 34 or 35 questions. There are 34. Now, if you answer yes to any of these questions, you are not eligible to apply with the 1023 Easy. You'll have to use Form 1023, which is significantly longer and more annoying to do. But again, if you're first starting out, you're most likely not going to answer yes to any of these questions. This 1023 Easy is for small nonprofit corporations, and this is precisely the one I applied with. So once you ensure all of that is good, you can now fill out the form through pay.gov. So click that. Now you can sign in. Right here on the homepage, it says apply for IRS 1023 Easy. If you don't see that, you can go to see all forms and then type exempt. Form 1023 is going to be under this tab, and then the 1023 Easy form is going to be streamlined application right here. So now you'll fill out all of this stuff in the next 6 tabs, but so I can show you everything, I'm going to go to this PDF here. First, you need to identify your applicant. You need to put the address and all the people that are going to be part of this organization. One thing I got hung up a little bit on is the zip code +4. It's just a more direct way in identifying where your location is. So what you can do is you can search up zip code +4, and then it'll take you to the USPS zip code lookup. And once you type in your address, it'll look something like this. I'm so sorry I was zoomed out. Hopefully this is better. Now part 2, as a nonprofit, you are a domestic corporation. So just click corporation, put the date in which you filed your original nonprofit in your state, and then put the state right here and then check all of these other boxes. Here is part 3. Just describe the organization and then answer all of these questions accordingly, yes or no. And then part 4, it's asking if you are a public charity or a private foundation. This basically depends on what you're doing. For my nonprofit, we are a public charity and we are operated for the benefit of a college or university, so we chose this box. Now that's basically everything, but there was one other thing I need to do that seems to not be listed on this PDF, and that is finding your NTEE code. So there will be a large table when you're filling out the form. It'll basically look like this, where you have a 3-digit code, and that'll correspond to a certain type of business. So you could be a recycling nonprofit, you can be an animal training nonprofit, and you just got to find the right one for your business. Now there is a ton here, so what I did is ChatGPT is pretty knowledgeable about this. So let's say you have a nonprofit for planting trees.
Give me my NTE code for a nonprofit looking to plant trees.
And it'll give you some codes here. They don't perfectly line up because the IRS changes it every couple of years, but they will be close-ish. If it's not C34, it would probably be like C33, C32, something like that. And with that, you have filed for tax exemption status, which will take around 2 weeks. And this is probably the most important thing, because in order to receive grants or money from other businesses, which they can use as a tax deduction, you need to have this tax exemption. It's very important, and this will help propel your nonprofit off the ground, get you connected with other people, and be able to do the work you want to do and find the funding for it. And after that, you can start a bank account with whoever you need to, and you can go off and do your work being an official tax-exempt nonprofit. So I hope this helped. Thank you for watching, and also stick around to the channel and consider subscribing if you want to see what I do with my nonprofit focused on rebuilding cars. So there's my little bit of self promo there, and I'll catch you later.